Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here. So good to see all of you. And Mike, it's great to see you. You must have some time off this afternoon. I want to answer Mike's question up front because he's asking if Daisy checks in on me. Daisy was our beautiful, beautiful Border Collie Lab mix, and she had a very rough childhood. We rescued her, and she lived with me for about 16 years. So we're not sure how old she was. And I do want to say, yes, Mike, she does. And she did tell me before she left, she told me she didn't want to leave here and she had no choice. The body gave out. But she also made it very clear she didn't really want to come back as a puppy. So, you know, Allison, a friend who's also an animal communicator, told me that Daisy really grew a lot spiritually living here with Lily and the other animals and I. And Daisy, I always told her she would find me again through Allison if she didn't find me directly, because Allison's also in rescue. Well, Allison called and she said, we have a little Sheltie, which I've had before. Sheltie's also rescued, but this one is being rehomed, not rescued. And I thought, well, how did this quite work? And I have written an article about this, but I haven't published it yet. And then Allison reminded me that we often, even as humans, come back just as a spark of someone, and we can be part of our DNA. So Daisy is sending part of her DNA back as Piper, the little 17-pound Sheltie that we're rehoming and picking up Sunday. So we will appreciate all your prayers to make this little girl's transition easy and help her. She's 9 years old, so she's not a puppy by any means. So I said, Daisy missed that. And I said she couldn't have a better angel than Daisy watching over her. And yes, Daisy checks in all the time. She's still around, just not in body. And she will help us a lot with Piper because she's sending Piper to us. Thank you, Mike, for asking. Our question today is from one of the viewers, Tiffany. She says, hi, Diana. Hi, Tiffany. And she's sending lots of sunshine to us. And our viewers ask an interesting question. And at first I thought this is a private question. And then I thought about it a little bit more. And I thought, no, this is a question that many people will have an interest in. And Mike already provided an answer to the question. And Phillip has some interesting things to say as well. And the question for today is, should mediums charge? Should mediumship be free? And Mike says, readings for money is an energy exchange. I agree, Mike. I have found them useful for new insights and confirmation of what I was feeling. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Mike also says, so Daisy is a step in, if that's the right term. Yeah, that sounds fine. I never thought of it as a step in, but yeah. I think Daisy will enjoy through Piper and help Piper. Not taking over her body, that's not what I'm saying, but step in. That's kind of a possibly, but a portion. Hello, Lexi Luna. She says, good afternoon, Diane and Phillip. So happy to be here with you today. Sending lots of love to you and all watching. Can't wait to meet Piper. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Rehoming an animal is not the same as the rescue animals. The rescue animals are always so excited to have their forever home. But Piper's lived in the same place for 9 years and being rehomed. So we just ask your energy and prayers that she and my beautiful little Lily, who's over 20, we don't know exactly. She's been with me 20 years and she was already grown, at least probably a couple of years old when I adopted her from the shelter. So it could be an interesting few days. And I want to say thanks to my niece, Michelle, who will be going with me to pick up Piper. So I won't be going alone, but also that's going to help instead of driving, I'll be able to be with Piper. And then also I want to say thank you to Dawn, who is the go-between rescue person. And in this case, rescue probably isn't the right word, although she is in dog rescue. And a thanks to Allison, too, for calling me up and saying, we found the right little girl for you. So, yes, hopefully Piper will be sitting here where you used to see Daisy sit, and we'll go from there next week. Thank you for those of you who come live. I'm always so grateful to see you, and thank you for those of you who make comments, and thanks for the thumbs up. Really appreciate it. If you have questions, we do ask that they be of a general nature. And if you have private questions, please just give me a call. You can get me through the website. That information's below. And it's just my name, DianaRankin.com. Give me a call or send me an email and we'll get you scheduled. We'll also get a message from one of my books, which is the Master's Book of Answers. Yes, it's available at Amazon. And it just, any page will just open and we'll find the message for this week. Lexi Lunas is praying that Piper's new home transition goes smoothly and that she and Lily get along famously, sending lots of positive vibes. Thank you. What my prayer, my hope is that Daisy is watching over Piper and Lily recognizes Daisy, because Lily and Daisy were best buds. So it'll work, especially with all of you praying. And again, I just want to remind you what Mike said about our question today. Readings for money is an energy exchange. And I thank you, Mike, for your comments. I have found them useful for new insights and confirmation of what I was feeling. You know, I always say I'm the type of reader that wants to help you to get to your next level. I'm not the one who just wants to give you the day-to-day advice. And I'm not the normal, I'm not the beginning reader. I'm for those who are on their spiritual journey. Let me put it that way. And that's my work here. All right, here we go. Our question is, I do nonprofit mediumship work for the collective. Do the spirit guides you work with have current information on people accepting profit for spiritual teachings? The ones I work with say this is not a good practice. Appreciate response in video. And here's what Phillip had to say about that. And full disclosure, I do charge because it's my living. So I do charge. And Tiffany says, you have definitely helped me and Christopher. We love you so much. Thank you. I so appreciate that. So here's what Phillip says. We must look at 1, the law of the land, 2, how one supports themselves, and 3, whether or not one considers themselves advanced enough to be a professional medium. Let us begin, Phillip says, with the law of the land. In some areas of the world, mediumship is frowned upon. To charge money might be considered a crime. I don't know where that is, but I believe that is probably true. Phillip goes on to say, in some areas, a medium or the shaman or the healer will be paid in other types of currency, such as food. The first question to ask then is, what is the law of the land where you reside? If money is an acceptable form of payment in your place of residence, the next question to ask is, how do you support yourself and contribute to others? To grow in wisdom as a medium requires time spent in study, contemplation, meditation, and practice. One does not simply declare they are a medium and become a reader for others. To be a to be a spokesperson for spirit world requires dedication. And boy, that is so true. This is my full-time work. And I love what Phillip said. How do you support yourself and contribute to others? I do a lot, including these videos for no charge. I put things out on Facebook. My newsletter, by the way, is free. It comes out every Friday morning around 4 o'clock Eastern time. Excuse me. And so I think we do have to contribute. We also I do believe in tithing with money. And so in order to help others, I have to be able to pay my bills as well. So that's me interjecting there. So here's what else Phillip said. So we ask the question again, how do you support yourself and contribute to others? If a job with an income is required to support yourself or other family members, do you then have the time and energy needed for those you want to help? And as Phillip has told us, you don't just say you're a medium. And I've been doing this for years. It's been basically my whole life, not as a reader, but the study of the interest. My master's degree is in how is the sacred expressed across cultures and throughout history from Antioch University. I still am constantly reading and meditating and studying. So it isn't something you just do and say that's it. All right. Phillip goes on to say, when one begins to speak to and for those in spirit world, they should not charge a fee until they have reached a level of where they are truly able to communicate clearly with those in spirit world and offer truth with love to the listener. I'm going to repeat that because I think that is important, because years ago when I did start, it was practice. It was practice. And I spent quite a bit of time, probably maybe even a couple of years practicing before I started charging, but I had another income also. So let me repeat what Phillip just said about this. When one begins to speak to and for those in spirit world, they should not charge a fee until they have reached a level of where they are truly able to communicate clearly with those in spirit world and offer truth with love to the listener. Clear communication requires a clear channel, which requires the reader to put aside their own reflections. That said, the reader must also be present enough to avoid harshness and to use wisdom and love in what is said. The reader must also be fully protected and know that the protection is also for the ones to whom they speak. The ones who ask these questions are not yet in the position to receive or ask for compensation. They will know when and if they are to charge. There are many who are ready to charge a fee for their professional work as a medium. For those who do charge, we continue to remind you to give and to receive. We ask of you to receive compensation, and we ask of you to give your all in love. It is not only money to support your life you will receive, but you will also receive the knowing of how you have been an instrument of healing for others. Thank you. This is a great reward for your commitment. It is the greatest reward any reader could possibly receive, believe me. Yes. Not everyone is to speak with those in spirit world. And among those who can, not everyone is to become a medium. There are great psychics who don't do mediumship, and there are mediums who don't do psychic work. Becoming a medium is not about fame or fortune, although that may be the path for some. Being a medium is about service and the fulfilling of your soul contract. Once you understand your soul's contract and your abilities, you will no longer need an answer to the question of whether to charge for your services. You will know the answer. I'm going to repeat that last paragraph because I think that is the most important paragraph of this whole answer. It always is, isn't it? Being a medium is about service and the fulfilling of your soul contract. Once you understand your soul's contract and your abilities, you will no longer need an answer to the question of whether to charge for your services. You will know the answer. Thank you. I want to catch up with you now. It's Theo says, hey-oh, and it's Theo says, sending all peace and love. Thank you. Anna World is sending love and peace and flowers, and it's Theo is sending butterflies and flowers. I am so good to see so many of you able to join us today. And Mike and Tiffany, thank you. I appreciate, I love working with my clients, and I love when some of them are able to join us here. So thank you. And when Phillip said the greatest reward is hearing somebody tell you that you helped them, I mean, don't get me wrong, I so appreciate the money. It's how I pay my mortgage, my rent. It's how I buy food. It's how I donate to others. But there's nothing like hearing I've helped someone, whether it's through this channel, through an article that I publish on my newsletter, which, by the way, you can sign up for. Go to my website, which is just www.dianarankin.com. And I look over here because this is the big screen and it's just easier for me to say. And it's Theo says, "How was your week, Diana?" It was challenging, but it was interesting. Let me say that. And I hope we all have a good week. There's a lot going on in my country as well as the world right now. And the energy isn't the easiest for us. So we'll get through this. And Wendy says, happy Friday. Yes, it is very nice. And I'm looking forward to Sunday when we go pick up Piper. But let's get our weekly message, shall we? That's where the fingers, and that's how we do it. We just flip through to find a message for us for a day, or in this case, for the week. If you heard right, our intuition's in sync. If you heard left, then the left is a message you need to listen to. So the message for all of us is you cannot reach the destination if you do not begin the journey. You cannot reach the destination if you do not begin the journey. You know, that it always amazes me, and yet doesn't. Your questions prompt so much that I haven't thought of when we get the answers from Phillip. It always goes deeper. And it always seems to fit our message. So if you feel you are to become a medium, if you feel you can connect, or a psychic or whatever, that you can connect with spirit world, start the journey, start your studies, work with a teacher, read the books, do it in a very safe manner. Always work with love, always work with a protector. All right. Have your spirit guides call in your protectors. If you heard left, and I think this kind of works for everybody as well, but your experiences are those to which you are receptive. Your experiences are those to which you are receptive. Theo says, what does it say on page 119, line 9-ish? Well, we normally don't do this, Theo, but I'm going to do this. We were on page 332 and 333. And I don't know why I'm doing this, because normally I would not do this, but I feel like we need to do this. And there are only 3 lines on here. So it says, you will be free when you become friends with the shackles that bind you. You will be free when you become friends with the shackles that bind you, which kind of goes along with what we're saying here. Your experiences are those to which you are receptive. If you heard left, that's your message. And Theo says, oh my gosh, thank you. That was kind of fun. I won't do that every week, but that was kind of fun. But the message for all of us is you cannot reach the destination. You cannot reach the destination if you do not begin the journey. You've often heard me say, receive is breathing in, giving is breathing out. We must do both. If you are to study mediumship, study. Get busy. You heard what Phillip had to say about charging. It's about giving and receiving. So my friends, my jacket has buttons. You've probably been making a lot of noise here. I apologize. But my friends, it's okay to charge if you're a professional and you're working in love. I thank you. Tiffany says, I needed to hear that, Theo. I want to stay on just to let you guys talk with each other, but we're going to say goodbye. And I thank you so much for your energy and your thoughts and your prayers for me, for Lily, for Piper, whom Michelle and I, my niece and I, will bring back to here to live with us. And we're rehoming, which is a little bit tougher for the dog than it is if they're being rescued. So thank you. And thanks, Daisy, for being her angel. thank all of you for being here. And it's Theo. That was kind of fun to do that. We may do that again sometime. So I will see you next Friday. And the following week, I will get the messages out for October. I'm still looking at September to see if what Phillip told us would happen would happen. And there are some people, I'm sure, who object to that. In fact, I read one of the messages. So thank you for those of you who do comment on the weekly and on the monthly. I love you, my friends. Thank you for your love and your support. I'll see you next Friday. Thank you to all of you.